Becky Lynch is one of the most compelling and controversial figures in WWE right now, and it's one of the more controversial runs of her career. Her recent heel turn, the shocking betrayal of Lyra Valkyria, and the relentless pursuit, in her words, to ruin wrestling has the entire WWE fan base on edge. But now whispers and theories are starting to emerge about WWE's next big move for the man. And honestly, it's something so audacious, so unexpected, it begs the question whether or not WWE, would they really go through with it? Well, in this video, we're going to be breaking down the potential booking decision, a storyline twist, or character development so out there that it could redefine Becky Lynch's legacy and send shockwaves through WWE. Now, I want to preface this by stating that this is something that fans have speculated about, but it's also something in which I don't think fans have really put a thought in terms of location, right? So, Becky Lynch is currently feuding with Lyra Valkyria for the women's IC title, right? It all started at WrestleMania, and they are about to run it back for a second straight time. So WrestleMania, of course, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria were slated to team up and challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles. But Bayley was laid out in a backstage attack, leading to Lyra needing to find a tag team partner for the following night. Insert the man, Becky Lynch, returning from hiatus. She had been gone since May of 2024. And is back. And so her and Lyra Valkyria, well, they won the women's or the women's tag team titles, rather. And it was a very controversial move because a lot of people were pissed that Bayley was not in that spot. A lot of people thought that Bayley should have been in that spot, and it was Becky Lynch who ruined that moment for her. And I can understand the outrage for it, right? Bayley worked all year. She deserved to be in the spot. And so, song and dance goes. Following night, Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, they lose the women's tag team titles to Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Becky Lynch turns heel. They do their first match at Backlash in St. Louis, and shockingly, Becky Lynch puts over Lyra Valkyria. Now they're about to run it back at Money in the Bank with the stipulation that, hey, if Becky wins, then Lyra has to raise her hand. Well, that's where this video picks up, because a lot of people have figured, okay, when is Bayley going to make her grand return? And more importantly, when is WWE going to do Bayley versus Becky Lynch? Well, WWE confirmed over the weekend that yes, Evolution 2 is happening. It's going to happen. It's going to be July 13th. It's the following day after Saturday Night's main event, and it's going to go down. It's a big deal, right? This first time the WWE has booked an Evolution event, so the inaugural event in 2018. It got me thinking. I believe if you need a big marquee match, you do Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Think about it. You could arguably say that it's the main event, right? Now, they're probably going to want to put the title match in the main event slot. I get it. I understand it. What you're necessarily going to do, I don't know. That's not for debate right now. In terms of a Bayley versus Becky match, it makes a lot of sense. Number one, it's one of the more heated feuds going on right now in WWE in terms of Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. And Becky Lynch has a ton of heat. She's arguably one of the top heels in the company right now, if not the top heel. And she's doing a lot of big things. Okay, especially the women's side, obviously, being a top heel. And you have someone in Bayley who has a lot of sympathy. So, if you would make the argument of, well, when are you going to do Bayley versus Becky? There are a lot of events going on over the next few months, right? From Champions to Money in the Bank to, Saturday Night's main event. You got 2 nights of SummerSlam coming up, Evolution 2. There's a lot of events, and you're going to need to fill those pay-per-views and the main events. Well, I think Bayley versus Becky fits that void, and it fits it very, very well. As I'm making the argument, okay, we have 2 women that are part of the 4 horsewomen of WWE, and 2 very influential named in WWE. Think about it like this. The the ability that Bayley and Becky has had to influence those who come after them, significant, right? There are talents in this business right now. There are talents in WWE right now that got into the business or wanted to become a pro wrestler because of Bayley and Becky Lynch. They're also two top stars right now. But more importantly, and here's my argument as to why this match needs to take place at Evolution 2. For years, there has been a demand. There's been a calling, a campaign, a push, whatever kind of terminology you want to use, that WWE desperately needs to bring back Evolution. It was a successful event in 2018, although created for all the wrong reasons. Because there is so much emotion, because there is so much intrigue, there is so much interest, there is so much controversies regarding Becky Lynch and Bayley right now, it's the match to make, right? If you're on paper and you go, okay, here's a series of matches, we can make it a series of matches, we have to make, we must make. It's matches that fans had been clamoring for. Well, Bayley and Becky would be that because fans are pissed that Bayley got screwed out of WrestleMania, okay? And she's really, really over. And you have those who are blaming Becky Lynch, right? The whole Becky Hogan memes, people just absolutely crapping on this woman. And it's not all because of her being a heel, right? Like, they turned on her the night of WrestleMania. The outrage regarding Becky Lynch's WWE return was significant, and you cannot take that out of question. It is a fact. It's a reality. So I think if you're WWE, you got to go, all right, well, lean into this. Fans will kiss, let's lean into it. Let's add a little bit more fuel to the fire. Now, when they decided to have Becky Lynch put over Lyra Valkyria at Backlash, I was a lot like you guys, where I was very surprised with their decision to do so. Now that we're running it back and Money in the Bank, I wonder. You can go two different ways in this regard. You can have Becky go over Lyra, win the women's IC title, go on to feud with Bayley, right? But with that stipulation that Becky will have her hand raised by Lyra should she win, it makes me think that we're getting a returning Bayley to screw over Becky. It keeps Becky strong because she got screwed over, and it ignites this feud between Bayley and Becky even more so. It also keeps the women's title on Lyra. So if you're looking at it from that vantage point and going, okay, how can we protect all of those involved and how can we progress the storyline? Well, that makes the most sense to me. Be wrong, but I believe that is going to be the case. Would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments area below.